Here's the thing. If you are open, then everything's a possibility. And here's what I know right now. The whole reality of the future has not just changed. It's metamorphosized in a totally different direction, into a totally different animal. So all of us are here because we are in the constant process of personal reinvention, hour by hour, day by day. And if your going in position is what happens if they write, then everything becomes material with which you can work. And I'll tell you something else. When you are in alignment with people, when you are looking for why they write, if you are looking for the magic, your stress level plummets. But I will tell you that if you're the kind of person who sees other people as being wrong, then it's usually not just them that are wrong, it's the situation that's wrong. It's the world that's wrong. And then the world becomes a hostile, fear, anxiety-inducing place in which to live. And that makes your life short and brutish, not nice. So do we all agree for this afternoon and maybe beyond to be open? I'm going to keep coming back to that rule. If you're not prepared to play by that rule, then I can't talk to you this afternoon. So this is one of those rules that I'm going to beg you to play by just until 4 o'clock. Then you can go back to whatever mindset you came in with. But you won't, because a mind once expanded can never go back to its original dimension. So do we all agree to be open? Yes. Okay, great. I like the yes as well. Nice little audio reinforcement of the visual signal. It's great. So what's the first rule? Be open. First rule, be present. Second rule, be open. Third rule, be excited. Be excited. Now you might have another word for that. Maybe for you it's be enthusiastic. Use words that begin with a P, also powerful. My favorite letter, P. Powerful. Passion. Poignant. Potential. Prize. Poison. So why is it so important to be excited? Because I'm sure you'll agree with me when I tell you that we are at our best when we are excited. And I define excitement as delicious anticipation of what's about to happen next. Wow, exactly. That's the response I'm looking for. Wow. Delicious anticipation of what's about to happen next. Because how many of you would agree with me that if you're in a situation and you are deliciously anticipating what's about to happen next, you tend to be at your best. You tend to be at your most alert. So the point here is this. Whether it's juiced or whether it's excited or enthusiastic or passionate, whatever your word is, be that way. Because that's when you perform at your best. But here's the key insight of the entire afternoon. If all you take away is this point, then my contribution to your great year will be substantive. Here it is. Do not rely on external circumstances to make you excited. I will tell you, I travel the length and breadth of this continent. More than half my work is in the United States, and I will tell you that the majority of people are excited when things are exciting. The majority of people feed on outside issues to create inside happiness. Now, I will tell you the great ones in this room manufacture excitement or happiness from within in the face of adversity, in the face of the oncoming tsunami of change. If you are relying on somebody else to make you excited, then they are the ones who are controlling you and your emotions. So I will tell you, as a motivator, I have to manufacture my excitement from within, because if I'm not excited, I cannot get you excited. And one of the key points that I want to share with you this afternoon is you have to be something before you can say something or do something. Have you noticed? I am being excited. I'm being this way. I mean, how would you feel about me if Michael Jeffries would have introduced me as follows? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Mike Lipkin, one of the world's great speakers, when he's excited. Then you'd go, well, I wonder who we're getting. Now, let me see by show of hands. How many of you in this room have never seen or heard of Mike Lipkin before this afternoon? Okay, great. The whole room. Not that many people know how well known I am. Okay? So what would happen? What would happen to my future with 300 KOLs? That's what you are, a KOL. You know what that is? A key opinion leader. What would happen if 300 people left this afternoon saying, what a waste of an afternoon? What would happen to my career? More importantly, what would your perception of Michael Jeffries be, who you've come to know, trust, admire, and depend on for your regular dose of inspiration and information? What would happen to his credibility or equity in your brain? So I know that this afternoon, I have to be the best I can be, because this afternoon is the most important afternoon I've ever had in front of an audience, because it's happening now and it's happening with you. I know, and the longer I live, the more I understand that whatever's happening, that was meant to happen. And some of my best days are my worst days. How many of you have noticed that some of the days that you grow the most, transform the most, are not days that are without pain? Right? There was a Danish philosopher, Søren Kierkegaard, who said life can only be lived forwards, but it can only be understood backwards. So I'm saying to you that being excited or passionate or enthusiastic or juiced or jolly or jovial is a personal choice that you're making in any given moment, and you're making it consciously.